15 discontinued snacks Americans miss the most. From delicious dessert bars to Hershey's Reese's Bite and to the crunchy Cheetos, in this video, we're going to take a look at 15 discontinued snacks Americans miss the most. Watch this video until the end for some of the best snacks you've ever seen. Number 15. Philadelphia Cheesecake Bars. These tasty cheesecake bars made you feel like you'd die and go to heaven, and many Americans want them to return to the shelves. With how popular these tasty snacks were, no one can understand why they were ever discontinued. If you miss these tasty cheesecake bars, don't worry. Fiber One makes something remarkably similar. They're a little bit flatter, and while they definitely can't compete with the original, you should still taste them for yourself. Number 14. Black Pepper Jack Doritos. In North America, there aren't many people who haven't tried these tasty triangles. Since they started making tasty snacks, Doritos have introduced many different flavors. One of them was Black Pepper Jack Doritos packed in a silver bag, so gleaming you could see your reflection through it. Instead of nacho cheese, these Doritos were spiced with black pepper and pepper jack cheese. While these were very popular at the time, they were discontinued in 2008 to make way for new flavors. Number 13. Reese's Bites. Reese's tasty peanut butter snacks have had many shapes and sizes over the years. In the 1990s, the Reese's Bites were introduced by Hershey. They were the perfect movie snack and were bought by many families before going to watch their favorite movies. The miniature chocolate-coated balls were filled with the familiar peanut butter filling and were on their way to becoming a market triumph. However, after only a few years on the market, they vanished. Why, Hershey? Why? Number 12. Cheetos X's and O's. Cheetos X's and O's, introduced in 1999, were crunchy puffs that came in X and O forms, making them ideal for a game of tic-tac-toe with your friends. They were cheesy, light, and insanely delicious. They became more well-known after airing a memorable commercial starring the Chester Cheetah from the game show. Unfortunately, despite how much fun this snack was, it was discontinued after only a year on the market. No one has forgotten about them, and we hope they'll be back on the shelves soon. Number 11. Mickey's Parade Mickey Mouse Bars. Back in the 1980s, the Mickey's Parade Mickey Mouse Bars were supplied by Good Humor. They were shaped like the head of the mouse we all know and love, and Mickey's ears were dipped in chocolate, putting a nostalgic touch on your standard ice cream bar. There was also a popsicle line that had Minnie Mouse, Goofy, and Donald Duck. While these frozen delicacies may have disappeared from our freezers, they have not faded from our memories, and numerous petitions are calling for their return. Number 10. Keebler Munchums. Keebler has provided us with some relatively famous and excellent snacks throughout the years. These little elves have been busy making everything from chocolate cookies to ice cream cones. However, one food does not get nearly enough attention, and that is Munchums. These crackers were essentially a winning snack combination that would almost be a tremendous hit today as well. Munchums were created by combining the crunchy texture of a potato chip with the delightful flavor of Keebler's famous snack crackers. While they seemed fantastic, they didn't last long in the market and were discontinued in the early 2000s. Number 9. Oreo Sippers. Oreo Sippers were one of Oreo's most inventive, original, and crazy concepts to date. They were basically Oreo cookies that had been hollowed out to be used as straws. You could drink your milk from them. The uniqueness of Oreo Sippers was unrivaled, no matter how you used them. One of the best things about Oreo Sippers was that they were made of wafer cookies, which meant they weren't overly sugary or heavy, making them the ideal light snack before bed. After several years on the market, Oreo withdrew the Sippers in 2012 and never looked back. Number 8. Magic Burst Pop-Tarts. First introduced in 1964, kids and adults have been enamored with Pop-Tarts as a breakfast meal for decades. This highly sweet toaster pastry contains a sugary-filled sandwich between two layers of thin crust, often with icing or sprinkles on top. There's one taste you can't get your hands on because it's vanished into thin air. They were blue raspberry-flavored sweet treats, popular in the late 1990s. What made them unique was that they changed color when toasted. There was an online petition to bring them back, and the comment section was swamped with anecdotes about these mystical candies. Number 7. Dunkaroos. It was like Christmas morning every day when you got a Dunkaroo in your lunchbox if you grew up in the 1990s. The feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment are still with us, even in 2021. Chocolate or vanilla icing was meant to be dipped into these tiny cookies. They were sizzled out in 2012. It's such a bummer because these particular cookies seem to be one of the most popular munchies of all time. Canada and Australia, on the other hand, continue to enjoy Dunkaroos for a little bit longer. Do you miss the Dunkaroos? Wait until you hear about the legendary breakfast bars at number 1. Number 6. Jif Power-Ups. Unknown to most of you, famous peanut butter manufacturer Jif recently released the Jif Power-Ups, an addictive snack that had every peanut butter lover drooling in delight. The Power-Ups range was marketed to children and their parents as a nutritious snack. Soft-baked bars, chewy granola bars, and cream clusters are the most popular. They were introduced in 2018 as a way for Jif to expand its peanut butter brand into the snack industry. Children and parents didn't seem to enjoy Power-Ups, therefore the company decided to discontinue them. Number 5. Hershey's Kissables. What the future holds for Hershey's, from kisses to swoops, is anybody's guess. In 2005, Hershey's introduced Kissables, an upgraded version of Kisses. They looked oddly like M&Ms that had been deformed. The best thing about Kissables was that they didn't need to be individually wrapped in foil like other candy. There was no limit to how many and how fast you could consume them. But Hershey chose to change the recipe by replacing the cocoa butter with cheaper substitutes. However, they were discontinued after 2 tasty years on the shelves. Number 4. Crunch Taters. Everyone has heard of Lay's potato chips, but have you heard of Crunch Taters? They were available in the late 1980s and early 1990s, and what set them apart was that they were extremely crunchy and extra spicy, and the front of the bag had an alligator wearing a cowboy hat. These were available in 2 flavors, hop and jalapeno and mighty mesquite barbecue, and they were the first snack food manufacturer to pay for television ads. Sadly, despite their popularity, these were withdrawn shortly after. Crunch Taters, goodbye. Number 3. Bar None Candy Bars. It was introduced by Hershey's in 1987. First new candy bar in decades for Canadians. $15 million were reportedly spent on research and development before the bar was released on a nationwide scale. The company spent even more money on national TV, radio, and print advertisements to promote their new product because they were so excellent that they immediately became a national favorite. So after 5 years of bliss, Hershey's cruelly decided to shake things up by adding caramel and breaking the bar into 2 smaller bars. The thrill and magic were gone when it was discontinued in 1997. Number 2. Pizza Spin. The crispy, small, pizza-flavored steering wheel or wagon wheels that General Mills launched in the late 1960s. According to a press release from 1968, pizza was the flavor of the 60s.
Pizza! We like pizza!
Thus, it was only natural that a snack would be created. Pizza spins were made using many of these same components as a genuine pizza to ensure an authentic Italian pizza taste. The Italian flag was even featured on the Pizza Spins box, with green, white, and red tones, because attention to detail was always vital. There were a lot of people who loved these pizza-flavored wheels, so when they were discontinued in the mid-1970s, there were a lot of regrets. Now we move on to the moment you've all been waiting for. Number 1. Carnation Breakfast Bars.
I hope you got some breakfast bars, because I'm in a rush.
It was produced in the 1970s, but was soon phased out as the same kids who adored them grew older, declining sales. When they were returned in the 1990s, they left again. Several chocolate-coated oat bars were available, but the most popular were Chocolate Crunch and Peanut Butter Crunch, while many compared to chocolate-covered peanut dust. The Carnation Breakfast Bars merited all the hoopla, even if it was short-lived. However, Carnation Breakfast Essentials Nutrition Bars, which Nestle produced to compensate for the loss of the original breakfast bar. These people were simply too legendary to be replaced. Subscribe, ring the bell icon, and check our channel for more fun videos.